Welcome to the Ad Phantom recording for 2024. So, as you can see, we start on the 4th of November, which is a Monday, and then you've got a session on a Monday morning, 10 o'clock in CAD 301 as usual, and then a second session on a Thursday afternoon, 1 o'clock. And this module runs until the 12th of December, which is your last Thursday of semester one. Then, as you guys can see, you've got the module handbook, you've got the code number there, is 20 credits as most modules are. And then the feedback date is the 30th of January, which is just the week you start back semester two. And it's also available in Welsh. So again, I'll do an overview. So the module is split by myself and Cara. So you'll have Cara on a Monday morning, 10 o'clock. You'll have myself on a Thursday. Now this module is, I suppose, a theory module, and it builds on what you've done already. So obviously you've already submitted Ad for Print, where you were learning Adobe software, and you did a great job on the Welsh Brew Tea, Paned Cymraeg brief. And then obviously you, for 12 weeks, you're doing the long and thin module of creative process, where you're researching, you're developing ideas, analysing your strategy and your creative process, and obviously producing a series of small submissions. This is looking at audience demographics, it's look brand heritage, it's going to look strategies, things like semiotics. So basically, as the title says, it's the fundamentals of advertising. So, you guys getting a briefing, researching who's my audience, primary, secondary research, how can I get data, how do I engage, what tone of voice, what imagery, things like semiotics, consumer behavior. It's a really nice module to do in semester one, because as you guys build towards the course, you'll do a nice module in the second year called consumers. There's another module called account and media planning. So if you kind of are edging towards the marketing, strategy, business, the kind of non-creative pathways, this module is your first step really in that kind of side of things. So the aims of the module is to introduce the fundamentals, as I said, about tools, communication, business, also exploring communication systems. Obviously we now live in a digital world, and looking at consumer engagement, audience, and media platforms again. Something you may have touched on already with Holly and Correct Process, and obviously you touched on when you did the Welsh Brew Tea, who was the audience, how connect in this print format. There's 2 assessment points. So again, like Ad for Print, you did the case study and you did the creative. This time they're equally weighted. They're 50-50. So both are equally split. Again, and you'll get feedback when you guys submit. So part 1 is your 50%. So you guys are going to go in a group and you're going to present the recent advert. So you're going to pick your recent advert of your choice. It could be around seasonal things like Christmas or Halloween, and you're going to look at the objectives, effectiveness, the media choices, and then there's a list of questions there. I won't go through each one. I'll wait until we unpack the module in the studio, but as you can then see, there's a list of things to discuss. So they don't have to be in the order, as I said. Those are just things then, and Cara and myself will help you through that in the next 6 weeks. And then scrolling down, those are things we are going to cover. And then there you can see a list of your 6 groups. Hopefully I've covered everybody there. I think I have. If there's anybody missing, obviously please let me know. So as you can see, they're predominantly a group of 3, but I've also a group of 4 because of the numbers in the first year. But again, we can discuss that when we unpack the module in week 1. So part 1 is your group presentation. And then moving down, as you can see, you guys will be presenting on the 12th, which is the last Thursday semester one, as I said. Again, you'll have no problems presenting because the quality of your presentation you did when you handed in the Ad for Print stuff recently. And then as you can see, the submission is turned in by 11:59, i.e. 1 minute to midnight on the 12th. And then Cara and myself will assess it over the break. And then part 2, as you can see, is the visual journal. So with this submission, you gather your body of work as a research platform for your group presentation. So in other words, whatever brand you guys pick, you are then using the written visual journal, similar to the case study you did, and you're looking at the history of the brand, the heritage of the brand, its social impact, its audience, its media platforms. Again, it's a nice research document building on what you did when you looked at the hot drinks content for your advert print Welsh brew tea. And then 1,500 words. So obviously you can see it's double the case study. And then some rules is that Harvard referencing. Obviously we want to introduce Harvard referencing to you guys in the first year, because as you progress in the course and when you do your case study, which is your same as your dissertation at the year 3, because you get an honours degree, obviously Harvard referencing is expected. And then obviously you're going to put together a list. Again, we'll be covering that in the weeks to come. And then use your checklist of a submission. So again, as I said on the 12th, your group submission, which is 50%, and then the other 50% is your visual journal. And as you can then see, those are things we expect to include in your visual journal, again, which is a kind of research platform looking at the brand of your choice. And then the user criteria. So again, there's the criteria. Again, I'll discuss this when we unpack the module in studio. So they're the 2 criteria that this module covers. And as you guys know, pass is 40%. So I won't go through all the gradient matrix. And then moving down, as I said, submission dates, we discussed that. And as in your first module and other modules, obviously you've got 5 working days to submit. After that, it's a non-submission. So if you do submit within those 5 working days, after submission, it's capped at 40%. But as I explained to you before, first year is all about passing, proceeding, having a clean pass, going to the second year. So I'm not too worried about the grades as long as you guys pass. Then we'll have a formative. So obviously, again, how you guys getting on prior to when you guys present. And then I'll scroll through all this, your reading list, scheme of work. So then, as I said, it's a 6-week module again. So it'll be great because you at any one point, you don't have the 3 submissions. So because you've submitted and for print, you only have the 2 submissions. Create a process with Holly, and then obviously this myself. So you'll have those 2 module submissions on the last week of semester 1. So on the Monday, as I said, you've got Cara. She's looking at protein advertising and do some workshops and some keynote lectures. Then I'll unpack the module on the Thursday session. As you can see, both sessions are in the usual studio, CAD 301. But also in this, I want to bring in some guest speakers so you guys get the feel of what advertising is. As you know, there's 2 big things really, I suppose, when you get to the year 3. Where do you want to work? So do you want to work in a small little boutique agency where there's literally 4 people? Or would you work on a big London agency where there's 600 people, or somewhere in between that, so Cardiff, Bristol, Manchester, overseas, etc. So that's one thing which we'll be developing and discussing in the next module, which is called the advertising industry. But as a warm up to that, I'm going to bring in a few guest speakers from various agencies or organizations, because then you get to realize what they do. So again, these are the fundamental building blocks of advertising. So you get to realize what people do for a living, whether they're business, strategy, or creative. Also, you guys have got library induction, which I've held back so far because obviously I wanted you to focus on that for print and the live brief. Now we've got a bit more time, and that you're not presenting until week 6, and it's more research based. We've got that. And then week 2, again, you're with Cara on the Monday, as you can see. And then we've got another one of our grads, Tara, coming in, who's an account planner. So Alex, week 1, she does a lot of social media content and digital marketing. Cara is a graduate of ours. She works at Liberty Marketing. And then week 3, we're going on a field trip, and we're going to Rebel Lion. So again, you guys get to see how an agency works. We've got 3 grads working there, which is great. Week 4, we've got a guy called John Dawkins, who's a creative director. He works for a company called Mediafly in Cardiff. So again, you've got somebody from a creative background, not just account planners and social media people. And then obviously we are working towards the final submission on week 6. So week 5, then we're going to do a little workshop, and obviously that's when you have your formative to make sure you guys are on track and that you're on track with both 50% of briefs. And then week 6 is your final week. So week 6, obviously on the Monday, Cara is going to give you some small group tutorial support on the Monday, and then on the Thursday you guys are presenting, and then by Thursday evening you're submitting. That then obviously will conclude your semester 1 hand-in, along with creative process for Holly. So that's a quick overview of the module. There's your feedback sheets. Obviously, you get familiar with these from very soon. You've got one coming in a few weeks for your ad for print. So that's the module overview, and then I'll unpack it all on Thursday week, which is obviously the first week of the module. Thanks, guys.